What's up, fam? I go by the name of Blessons. I'm a producer and mixing engineer of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and today I'm going to share with you my current Mixbus chain, the settings, but most importantly, the thought process behind it. Let's get into it.
Blessons did it.
Now, I realize for most mixing engineers, this is taboo, right? Most people aren't going to show you what's at the end of their chain, and I get it. I totally understand. I used to think the same way, right? In fear of someone else taking my sauce or being able to do what I can do. But once you start to realize that it's more about the ear and not the gear, your whole thought process will change on that. All right. So I'm going to share with you what we got going on here. Let's take a look into it. OK, so I want to draw your attention to these red tracks. This is where we're going to start. Now we're going to go over all of these. Right. But what we're going to start is right here with this LT pre. And what this is the signal coming back from my 2-bus LT back into my DAW, right? I utilize analog summing when I mix, so this is the return coming back in, okay? From here, we're gonna go to this master sub. Master sub's gonna go to the 2-bus, which will be the end. Print right here, this is where I print the track, right? I'm a firm believer in printing the track. I don't bounce, so that's really what this is here, okay? And this one says master. This is really just what I use for analyzing stuff, right? This is more of my analysis plugins. You see, like Paths Analyzer, VU meters, things like that, right? Now, master sub, okay? What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna play this track and I'm going to go ahead and play it with these on, and then I'm gonna disengage them so you can hear the difference, and then we're gonna talk about them, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what we got here.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really, when you fly, they shoot you down from the sky, then wonder why it be hard to get by. I just tell them that it's pricey. Go ahead, tell them that it's pricey. For real.
Now, this mix is not totally finished by no means. We're about, I'll say about 85–90% there yet. This is a project that I'm working on for FL Loud. I'm currently working and mixing his album, and this is a song entitled Pricey that will be on that album. All right, so what's going on here? First things first, what I have here is a VU meter on my master sub, right, coming back in. Like I said, signal flow is coming through LT pre. This is going to be the first plugin it hits, right? And really what this is monitoring how the signal level is coming back in, at what level it's hitting. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to actually just mute the song right here as we're playing it so we can see it, but we don't need to really hear it at this point. Okay, so you see this is typically, I want this to come back in, hit -15 VU. This is just the me thing, so not anything you need to be aware of. I just want you to see what's going on here. From there, I have this Hornet VU meter. Now this right here is the real sauce, and I have actually made a video on my, I think it was my 3 gain staging tips. I'll link that here, where I go over this plugin in depth and how to use it. I'm not going to go over that right now. Just know that this is the next in the chain. From there, another VU meter, right? And you see this is calibrated at -18 dB VU. Basically what that Hornet meter is going to do, if you're not aware, is going to recalibrate my signal at whatever rate I want it to come back in. You see here I have it -18 dB VU. So this is going to assure that whatever I go into next is going to be hitting at -18 dB VU. All right. From there, we're going into Golfos. Right now, this is a very, very kind of expensive, but it's also a kind of an AI type plugin, right? And it's pretty amazing, honestly. I'm gonna let you hear it here in a second. But this is just my starting settings that I have. You see it start, 20 recover, 20 tame, -15 BIOS, and I'm not gonna go over everything what this does. I can make a video for that if you guys do need it, but there's tons of videos on this in there, on YouTube, okay? So let me play it with and without, and then we'll move on. So this is without it.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings.
So as you can tell, it cleans it up, right? Brings more clarity. After that, I have this virtual Mixbus, and I actually got this from Il Angelo. I think I was watching a Mix with the Masters, and he had this when he was showing a weekend breakdown, and I tried it and I just love how it sounded, and it's just been on here ever since. So I'm going to disengage this. Typically the goal here, right, is to hit 0. Now, can you drive it more? Of course you can, right? I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And the thought process is gain staging into my next plugin. All right. So this is before and after, same thing.
Oh, pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really,
so as you see, it gives us a little lift on that upper mids, gives a little clarity in that vocal. From there, I'm going into this Pro C, okay? Now you're going to see a lot of different compressors and limiters on my chain, but don't confuse it. I'm not really using these as you would think to use a limiter and compressor. There's really just steps, and it's going to go contribute to the overall sound, okay? So look, you'll see here, this is -1. Check this out. I'm going to bypass it. I'm going to play it with and without it, and then I'm going to break it down for you. Check it out.
Oh, pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really, when you fly, they shoot you down.
Now look at that. It's compressing -0.1, right? So there's not really any compression. All this is really doing is gluing. And the reason that's happening is because of this side chain here, right? Basically what I have going on is being triggered from 300 hertz all the way to almost 7,000 hertz, right? 6,000 hertz. So really it's just compressing the mid range and bringing it more up front. Okay. Again, I'll do it before and after so you can see. Before.
Oh, pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing.
This is what it's compressing. So it's just a subtle lift, right? Nothing too crazy. From there, I'm compressing. Now, as you can see, it's a 2-to-1 ratio, 30 millisecond attack, very fast release here, or the fastest possible release without auto. And as you see, the sidechain filter cutting out, letting a little bit of that lower end through a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit of it. I think that's what, maybe 40 hertz probably. But let's see what it is doing. Here we go. I'm gonna turn it off and then turn it back on.
Oh, pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really,
now obviously there's a change in volume level, right? As you see this makeup gain, and I'll get into that in a second. But as you see, there's not much compression going on, right? Maybe 2 dB at the most, okay? Just gluing things. Now you might say, well, you already got a compressor. What's this compressor? Why do you have another compressor? This is not compressing anything. This is something new that I've added to my chain that I've been trying out, and I kind of like it. This is a 670 Fairchild, right? There's various different kinds with all different plugins, right? But plugin manufacturers, forgive me, but this is the one that I choose to use. Now, as you'll see when I play it, there's no gain reduction. All right, check it out. This is before, and then I'm gonna bring it in.
Oh, pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really, when you fly.
Now, as you see, there's no gain reduction going on. All I do here is I match the input with the output, right? So whatever input level's coming in, I match it with the out. So that way it's not faking my ear because it's getting louder. Really, all I'm doing is getting the sound from this box, okay? Let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna show you the in and then the out as it's playing.
Oh, pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really,
and really, I could probably turn it up a little more if I wanted to, but I like how it sounds there. So that's what's going on here. It's really just the sound and texture of that 670. Okay. From there, we're going into this Pool Tech. Now, I've been messing with the Better Maker, exact same thing. But the reason why I like this one a little more is because of this gauge right here. It helps me gain stage going into the next plugin. That's the only downside. I think the Better Maker one might sound a little better, but I like to be able to have that visual as far as what I'm hitting on my meters. Okay. So all I'm doing here is a smiley face EQ basically. turning up 100 hertz, right? Very sharp width here on the bandwidth, and then also 16. So smiley face EQ. I'm gonna show you before and after. Here we go.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really, when you fly, they shoot you down from the sky. Then when
So it just gives you a little bit of that, more of that low end, a little bit more of that high end. Okay. Now, typically I mix into all this, right? I'll set it and then I'll make adjustments as I go. They hardly ever stay everything as it is, right? I just don't turn it on and it's there. I go ahead and I start it and then I'll make adjustments as the mix is going on. Okay. From there, I got an L2. Now this is the first limiter we have. Now, as you'll notice, it's really not doing anything. All it's doing is bringing the volume up, right? Bringing that, making it sound more present. Check it out.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs.
So what, it's limiting 1.5 dB? Not really anything. It's just giving me a little bit more to gain stage into my next plugin. Which brings me to the Oxford limiter. Now this thing probably makes the most difference out of all the plugins here, to be honest with you. If you'll notice, I'm not limiting anything here. All I'm really using is this enhanced curve. And really it's just to add more saturation to the upper harmonics of this mix. So I'm gonna turn it off, then I'll bring it in. Check it out.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really,
big difference, right? Big difference. Now, obviously, you can turn this trim down, right, to match the same gain level. And a lot of times I do that when I'm setting it to make sure my ears aren't fooling me. But I'll turn it back up because it just goes back into my next plugin the way I want it to be hit. So it's fine. However, I'm going to backtrack for a minute because I told you on this SSL, the makeup, right? The way I use this makeup gain is based on this, this level right here, right? I don't want it to hit way in zero. I want it to hit about here. If it hits zero a little bit, that's fine, but I don't want it to live there. So based on how that's hitting it, I'm going to go back to this SSL and I'm going to turn that makeup down or up. So for example, if it's all the way down, look.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs,
right? So why do I do that? In my experience, as I hit this pool tech or Puig tech right here at where at -2 is a sweet spot for me. Okay, so that's why I do that. All right. Now, fast forwarding back to where I was at. From the limiter, we're going to go into this BX digital, and really all I'm doing here is giving a little width, okay? And then I'm giving a little high end. So there's a shelf at 16K here. There's a shelf on the side at about 8K. And really this is just bringing some of the high end in and that I mix into. So I'm going to disengage it. Same thing, bring it back in. Here we go.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really.
All right, so that's pretty basic. Going from there, we go into this this backs EQ, right? Dangerous backs. I love this EQ. It just sounds so good, right? And all I'm doing here basically is giving it a little shelf on the high end, and in the mids about 3.4 and above, giving a little bit on the sides, 4.8 and above. Then I'm, rolling off a little bit. And this is just to taste, right? I start and then I'll start carving as I'm mixing, okay? So again, before and after.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings.
Okay. From there, I'm going into a Pro Q3, and all I'm doing is cutting a little bit of that high end. Now, could I turn down the BX Digital? Of course I can. That's what I want to do. This is just the way I like to do it, all right? So I'm showing you what I'm doing. All right, so before and after.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all.
There you go. And for the police out there, the ones that say, oh, you hit the red, I know, it's right here. Just, I hit the red a little bit. It's going to be okay though, guys. I promise. Okay. So that's just cutting off a little bit of that high end for me. All right. Then we're going into 2 Pro L2s, right? This one, you can copy my settings if you like. Really, it's just to give it a little bit of level. And then this one, I just have it 0. And really, this is to emulate going into my mix, into my master, right? Now, what I'll do is sometimes I'll leave it on there. And when I go to my mastering session, I'll turn it down and then I'll master into it. Or sometimes I'll disengage them and I'll start my mastering session with my Pro Ls at the end of it and go into it, right? So this is just to know what the overall kind of mix is going to sound like. Gives me that where I'm going, what I want it to sound like, right? Because I mix and I master my tracks that I work on together, right? I don't send them out to anyone. I do it myself, all right? So let me show you how both of these are being hit real quick so you can see. Not really much going on, just a little bit maybe. Let's see.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really, when you fly, they shoot you down from the sky, then wonder why it be hard to get by.
Okay, and this is just so you can see what level I'm at. I'm at, what, negative 9.5 LUFS right now, okay? Typically, I like to mix at about 10 LUFS. I like to have my loudness range between, I don't know, 7 and, well, I'll say between 6 and 8. And then from there, I'll export it into my mastering session, which from there, I'll probably go to about 8 LUFS. That's what my target usually is, all right? Now, you might be thinking, what are these other tracks here and why do they even matter? You know me, I'm always preaching about it's better to have more tools to be able to make better informed decisions than not, right? I don't like to guess, I like to know, all right? And that's what's going on here. First things first, this unprocessed signal is really, this is doing some New York compression, going into my mastering chain. I've showed you this in previous videos. You can go look at that, but basically it's parallel processing on my Mixbus, and I'll play that first.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between.
Right, it's just giving a little lift, and as you see, just the mid-range, right? Nothing too crazy. Let's see how hard we're hitting this.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene.
Okay, 10 dB, perfect. All right, so you know kind of how that. And if you notice, this is routed not to this first one, but it's going to this 2 bus. Why I did that, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember why I did it at the time, but it works. So that's why I use it that way. I don't want to go through all my plugins. Just that's perfectly fine. Now, what are these other 2 things here and why do they even matter? This is where I go and to see how what I'm doing stacks up with other things in the industry, but also what my mix would sound like without any of this on it, okay? What do I mean by that? This is my mix in the guard particle, okay? So I'm gonna play the same mix. I'm gonna mute these tracks, okay? That way you can hear what, if I just mixed with the guard particle, in the guard particle, what it would sound like, right?
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between.
That's the guard particle. This is just my chain.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between.
One more time, guard particle.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene.
And then one more time, my chain, so you can hear the difference.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene.
This is by no means saying that my chain is better than the God particle, right? It's just how I am able to make sense of what the God particle is doing and how does it stack up to what I'm currently doing, okay? In addition to that, I'll have another track here, right? It says SSL, which this is just my mix going through a compressor. No limiter, no nothing. So that way I can see what it really sounds like without anything on it. Here we go. Let's check it out. Off, and then I'll turn it on.
Pardon me, I'm just setting the scene. Double dutching back and forth just to get in between. When it's hot, I play it cool, I ain't sweating a thing. Well, y'all been out here spreading germs, I've been spreading my wings. But really,
so if I just want to export this at this level and then master just that raw version without anything else on it but this SL compressor, I can do that. But also it lets me hear how does it sound like without all this on, so I know my ears aren't fooling me, right? So just another tool for you guys to use. I just recently started doing this, and I like how it allows me to analyze the mix that I'm doing a little more, okay? So hopefully this has helped you out, guys, to show you how I currently mix into my Mixbus, the way I set things, why I set them that way, right? But also different ways to analyze, right, when you're mixing, right? Feel free to leave a comment. You have questions, anything like that, definitely leave that below. I'm more than happy to help you out in any way I can. Also, I released my mini course, How to Start Every Mix. If you're just getting started mixing, you can download that. The link will be in the description. And I have different presets available for you as well if you haven't picked them up yet. All below. You feel me? So I go by the name of Blessons. It's been a pleasure. Remember to always, always, always trust your ears. I'm out.
Blessons did it.